Unknown to me was crowned as the best BL that aired in 2024 thus far, and I really don't see much competition for it. But I have started recently watching this new BL, and honestly, I think it might creep up and be like the sleeper hit of the year. I am enjoying The Only One so much, and I just want to talk about it. Hi, I'm Monique. I am the host of Off by Purple Art podcast, where I talk to you about K-dramas, C-dramas, BTS, and so much more. I said earlier this year that I think Unknown, the BL, was going to be the best of 2024, and I've been proven right pretty much since it's finished airing. And it's really hard to find a BL to really sink my teeth into as of late, even though there are a couple that I'm currently watching on the back burner. But then this lovely show, The Only One, just happened to stumble into my lap. And it has a lot of similarities to Unknown, and I think it might be like the black horse, the dark horse, the sleeper hit of this year. And it also kinda is taboo. I adore this show. I don't know why I started watching it. I think I saw a Twitter thread and it kind of piqued my interest. It's also a Taiwanese BL, and I've said this before. I think Taiwanese productions really seem to get it as far as making complex characters in BL settings, and it's not just about, getting to, NC scenes and just slapping together really ham-fisted storylines. They really look to craft actual human characters and putting them in interesting scenarios and talking about, coming of age and the human condition and family dynamics, also while having really amazing pairings with incredible chemistry. And The Only One does this really well. It is definitely a slice of life / coming of age drama as well. And when I mentioned in the cold open that it kind of is taboo, it's taboo in the sense that it's dealing with two teen boys who technically are stepbrothers. I know. There seems to be this thing with the brother-boyfriend type romances, and that's a term I learned from Topher Reacts, who's a channel that I love to watch quite frequently. But I know it's technically not taboo because they essentially don't know each other. They both come into each other's lives, these two teen boys, as 17-year-olds. The main character, Wang, he transfers into high school, and his classmate just so happens to be someone that turns out to be his stepbrother, which is Tian, which is the marriage between their parents. It's filled with a lot of tension, and unfortunately, right off the bat, Tian and Wang do not really get along very well, and Tian comes off really cold and aloof, and Wang is having a really hard time in adjusting to this new environment. He's in a new school, he's well behind in his studies, and on top of everything else, he's still kind of reeling from the death of his mother, who died when he was in his adolescence, and it's just kind of turning his entire world upside down. But in the first 4 episodes, there just seems to be this really crackling, sparkling chemistry between the two, and it really, really surprised me. I'm not familiar with either one of these actors, but there's other actors that kind of pop up in the show that are very familiar from other Taiwanese productions. But these two actors are, at least to me, a little bit new, even though the actor that plays Tian does look familiar to me. I just can't picture where he's from right now as far as the show, but I'm sure there is something that I watched with him in it. But I'm not very familiar with the other actor, to be honest, but they are absolutely electric together. It is crazy how good their chemistry is, and I know maybe some are not really into the whole stepbrother become lover pipeline, but the show doesn't set it up as creepy at all. They are virtually strangers to one another. They both are moved into this household together, and both, at least at first, seem a little adverse to the marriage between their parents. And it definitely is a coming of age story between them. And it's nothing as far as out there or brand new as far as concept, but the way the show is filmed, the way that cinematography sets everything up, the little micro expressions that both actors are able to play into really elevates the script a lot. The dialogue is really insightful, and there's something incredibly poetic about how the whole show unravels. It just is very dreamy and surreal like, and it just takes such a simple premise and storyline and just makes it something that makes you almost really emotional right off the bat. I'll also say the actor that plays Wang, even though I'm not familiar with him, I probably would like to watch more of his work going forward. He plays the most adorable high school boy. The actor, I believe, is like 29 or 30, but he is so convincing as a teenager, and he's just like a puppy, and he's just have all these cute little emotions on his face, and you just feel instantly wanting to protect him. And the actor that plays Tian, he comes off as, like, of course, the really dark, mysterious type, the silent type, but very early on in the show, they slowly start to come together, and you can start to see the walls kind of pull down a little bit, and he takes on kind of that mentor-like role and starts helping Wang out once it becomes obvious that Wang is really struggling and he's really deep entrenched in the grieving process of losing his mom. And Tien starts to really soften towards him, and the show does this really cute thing as well where every episode kind of ends with a little epilogue, and it's usually titled like Tien's moment, and we kind of see the show switch perspectives from Wang, who I think is technically the lead, to Tien, and we get to see kind of his point of view of the same events that transpired in the episode. And you start to pick up on the little nuances and details that show just how interested Tien is in Wang, and how they have this really mutual connection and attraction, even though they're not aware of it at all at the moment. It's just such a magical little show, and I am just so impressed by it. I think the smallest details really make the grand scope of it just a really fun viewing experience. It's like the most excited I've been watching a BL in a while, and I genuinely think if the show continues to do well and maximize off of the momentum of the first 4 episodes, I think it could actually be a massive challenger for Unknown. There's only one other BL that's coming out, I believe, later in September, which is Jack and Joker, which I also think is going to be a contender for one of the best of this year. But the only one is so good. If I could encourage anyone that is listening or watching this podcast that likes BLs, I highly recommend that you give this one a shot because it is very good. The music choices are splendid. It's so dreamy like. The actors have such sizzling, crackling chemistry like right off the bat. It is like lightning in the bottle type chemistry that you don't see very often. And the show has just breathed new life into a coming of age drama. And it's so much more, I think, than the eventual romance between the characters. I just think it's just a really good character study into teen boys, and I think the relationship that these two main characters are building together is going to be so special. So I'm really excited about this show. I hope that you can tell that, and I really want people to give it a shot. But you let me know in the comment section down below if you're watching this via YouTube. What are your thoughts? Have you seen The Only One yet? Do you agree with me? You'd better agree with me. It's a damn good show. I really do not want to fight you on this. Like, I'm sorry. I think it's good. If you're listening via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I love you. I appreciate you so much. Until the next one, bye.